All right, folks, welcome into the Friday main event. I am Mike Molder. He is Lee Teat, and of course we have Roy Dillard, as promised, in the house.
That's what we call him.
That's what we call him. Is Roy Dillard. That's his name. So he's here and present and accounted for. So I didn't lie. I know I knew I was going to get that. I didn't lie. That's Roy. That's our Roy.
Yeah.
Lee, we've got a good show tonight. Coaches we got lined up tonight. We're going to start things out with Jeff Harig over at Loudon. What a phenomenal job that guy's done in his return from Knoxville West,
Yes.
getting his program back on track. We'll have our buddy Chris Hughes from Fairview. His team having a great year this year.
Real good year.
And we'll have him on at 6:45 at 7 o'clock. The legend, Hall of Famer, Lewis County head coach Bobby Sharp joins us. And I'm really looking forward to that one, Lee. I'm going to tell you.
Absolutely.
This dude's a wealth of football knowledge, and I always enjoy talking to Coach Sharp. And at 7:15, we'll have our good buddy Scott Blade at Independence. Man, they had a big win
last week.
Yeah, exactly. Knocked Brentwood off. They're in the driver's seat right now in Region 6. So a big game tomorrow night with Ravenwoods. We'll talk to him about that game. But a lot of big games, Lee, for tomorrow night. A couple of smaller games tonight. Well, I won't say smaller. One smaller game. One pretty big game tomorrow night. Alcoa at Dobbins-Bennett.
Pretty good matchup here.
It would have been better, Lee, if it had been last week because I was really high on Dobbins-Bennett. Didn't see them losing to Science Hill last week. Did you anticipate that one?
No, I actually went DB in that game. They got beat by 10, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you. I had DB in that one. That was a big region battle right there.
I think his game will be a good game, though.
89% of our fan base on Twitter, Lee. Of course, that's Tennessee Sports on Twitter. I think Alcoa takes the game. I probably would have been a little more up in the air if this game had happened last week. But I got to go with Alcoa now. Of course, we had Gary Rankin on with us, Lee, and he's actually been running Cam Burden at quarterback because of I don't know. I don't know if he still is or not. It was a COVID issue, wasn't it? Was it not?
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why he had him there. So I don't know who's running at quarterback now. But at any rate, that defense is still the same defense that shut out 10 teams last year. So I think Alcoa wins that one. What we got? Everybody going to Alcoa, Dustin West.
Yeah.
And we ain't even talking about the Tigers. What are you saying go Tigers for? Longman's with Alcoa. Tommy Fitch is with Alcoa. West is with Alcoa now. He got off of his Go Tigers, so he's back in the ball game now. Lee, there really wasn't any other games tonight. Peabody plays Gibson County. Of course, they're trying to go undefeated for the second year in a row. Really the only storyline here, and that's that game's tonight. Gibson County's only won one game on the field against Halls this year. I think they got a COVID win. So Cody Finley's team's kind of off the charts this year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say Golden Tide by probably as much as they want.
Yeah, I think it'll be a running clock there. If it was possible, it would run clock in the first half. Khalid Ganaway having a huge year for the Tide, Mr. Football candidate. I don't want to sit here and say who we submitted for all our Mr. Football candidates, but that's definitely a guy that might have been on the list.
Yeah.
Lee, heading in tomorrow night, the first one I intended to talk about was your game, and of course, Stewart Creek is not going to get to play, so we'll have to X that one off. Mark Williams' crew gets the nod. And I thought I might kind of go over where these regions are going to fall out as we go, Lee. And if we look at Smyrna, we've got them playing Franklin next week. I think that game's already determined. Not really much, unless Dixon County was to pull a huge upset tomorrow night. I think Franklin and Smyrna will be playing. Stewart's Creek not going to get to play. Is that a done deal?
Done deal.
So the Ravenwood, Brentwood, whoever takes that 2 seed in Region 6 between those two will get a bye next week then, correct?
I think so, yes, sir.
I think that's the way it's going to work out. I don't understand. If they know now that Stewart's Creek is not going to play, it looks like they would move the fifth place team up into the playoffs. But I don't know how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I hadn't been told, but all I got to go on right now is just assume it's going to be a bye for their opponent. Cascade and Westmoreland Lee. This game right here is essentially for seeding. I think both these teams get in unless Trousdale County or Watertown was to lose tonight. I don't see that happening. So Cascade should get in, win or lose in this game right here. Jake Tyer's team much improved from last year. Knocked off Forest last week, 17-14. And then Westmoreland, a very impressive win over White House Heritage last week, 14-7. What's your thoughts on this game?
I like Westmoreland at home, Mike.
Westmoreland at home.
Yep, nasty weather, and they run the wing tee. I'm going to go Westmoreland at home.
Despite the fact that Cascade knocked off a really good Forest team last week.
Yeah, I like a home field advantage.
You like home field advantage in this one?
Mm-hmm.
I do too, Lee. I'm going to go with you. Westmoreland, they've beaten Jackson County, East Robertson. I think that White House Heritage win was big. Pretty good Patriot squad. Their losses were to Livingston Academy, Macon County, of course, Trousdale and Watertown in region play. Look at Cascade, opposite side of this game. They beat Jackson County. They beat Huntland, but they beat Huntland without Colby Stewart. So you don't want to weight that victory too heavily without the main cog in that offense there. Did beat Forest. That was a good quality win there. They lost to Moore County, lost to East Robertson, and of course they had the two regional losses to Watertown and Trousdale. I'm with you, Lee. I'm going Westmoreland. Looks like Cascade's a popular pick over here. So Longman's about split, ain't it? About split. That should be a good game. I think it'll be a good one. Gatlinburg-Pittman, GP, Derek Rain's squad. Of course, we had Coach Rain on with us a couple weeks ago. Lee got slammed pretty good against Alcoa their last game, 43-0. Kingston beat Pigeon Forge by 1 point. Yellow Jackets sitting at 6-2. Gatlinburg-Pittman at 7-2. What's your thoughts?
I like GP.
Like GP, going with our guy, Rain.
Yep, I like GP in this game. I think it's pretty close. Last year it was 37-21. I see probably maybe similar score.
Similar score.
I do, because I think GP's losses are to Alcoa and Kings Academy.
Yeah,
that's pretty stiff
good
competition there. I'm gonna go GP.
Looks like everybody on Twitter's going, or excuse me, on YouTube's going GP. Yep. Unanimous. So it's up to me, I guess, right?
Well, Twitter went 79%.
Twitter went 79% GP. Well, I'm not going to rock the boat, Lee. I'll go GP also. I think Coach Rain gets it done tonight. And if we look at that, that's one thing I've been trying to do, man. Keep reminding me to do that. If you look at the 3A bracket, as far as that game goes, the winner of this game right here, Lee Teat, would obviously be the 2 seed. They would play the winner between Johnson County and Unicoi County. That's our guy over at Unicoi County. They got a big game tonight with Johnson County. And then the loser of this game would play Chucky Doak, the 2 seed there in Region 1. So
right.
That's the way that's going. I want to try to give that as we go, Lee. Don't let me forget to do that. Can you remind me to do that? Can I depend on you, man?
I doubt it.
Well, this region right here is one that's pretty crazy.
Still kind of up in the air.
It is very much up in there, at least the 3 and 4 spots anyway. We're talking about Page at Franklin County tomorrow night. Justin Cunningham in his first year at Rockville. They're only 2-7, Lee, but ironically in I think a 16 region at 2-7, and you will lock up the 3rd seed with a victory. That tells you how crazy this year's been, doesn't it? Page, Charles Rathbone's team, Jake McNamara. I was really impressed with the new quarterback. Got to see them when they played Shelbyville. I think he's got a chance to be a very good football player. Franklin County led by Keandre Johnson. I think he's got 800 passing yards, Lee. And then Dakota White. I think he's been underused this year. Would you agree with that?
I do. Mike, I'm going to go Page in this game because I think Franklin County's got several players that are having to sit because of the big fight they got into last week with Shelbyville. and I think that gives Page the advantage, strong advantage.
Yeah, yeah. I liked Page anyway, but being at Franklin County, I might would have maybe been a coin flip, possibly if like you said, Franklin County is at full strength. But with the suspensions because of the big Bedford County brawl last week, yeah, you got to give a big edge to Page, I think. Now, the way that region is going to play out in the playoffs, Lee, what we've got, well, I'm 99% sure this way it's going to fall out. If Franklin County does beat Page, they are going to be the 3rd seed. Page would drop to the 4th seed. Now, if it plays out, if every game worked out the way we expect it to work out, Summit will be the 1 seed, Shelby will be the 2 seed. Now, those two teams are locked in in their seeds. The 3 seed would be Page, provided they beat Franklin County, and then the 4th seed would be Columbia. Now, like I said, if Franklin County does win the game, they'll be the 3 seed. Page drops to 4, Columbia's out.
Correct.
So that's the way that'll.
So Columbia or Franklin County are out either.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Depending
They have
on
to
how.
win.
Yeah, Franklin County's got to win to be in, and Page is in either way.
Right. That's right.
So that's the way that region should pan out, and we both like Page, and everybody likes Page. What did Jackie Lover say? Might not win a game, but they will win the fight. I don't know. Their heavy hitters got knocked out, man. They'll be they won't be there. So
Yeah.
Page might win the game and the fight. Hendersonville at Mount Juliet, Lee Teat, Trey Perry's team. I don't know.
This might be a good game, buddy.
It may be a very good game. Mount Juliet, they beat Stewart's Creek, they beat Lebanon, beat Gallatin, beat Wilson Central. The loss to Rossview was surprising to me. The Oak Ridge loss was not so surprising. Joe Gaddis' team's pretty solid. Now you look at the flip side of that. Hendersonville beat Giles County, Stacey County, Lebanon, Wilson Central, and they beat Rossview, right? But their losses were to Oakland Beach Independence, 3 very good teams.
That's correct.
Looks like our guys like an MJ over here on YouTube.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, Mike, and say Hendersonville gets this win.
I was leaning that way also.
I know it's at Mount Juliet.
It's at Mount Juliet. That's a tough place to play.
It is. I'm gonna go out though. I think Hendersonville squeaks one out right here. I don't think it'll be anywhere near what it was last year. It's 41-14 Hendersonville.
Swooner has looked good at quarterback. When I saw him a couple of games, I kind of want is Messinger getting any snaps? I know he's back on the team.
I don't know.
Is he getting any snaps? Of course, he was a starting quarterback last year. I just hadn't been able to follow. These teams that don't put their stats online, man, I can't keep up with what's going on. And unfortunately, there's more teams that don't than do. I wish every team would put their stats up online. If you don't subscribe to the Tennessean or the Knoxville News Sentinel or, the many publications, you don't have access to stats. And Lee, we're statewide. Realistically, I can't spend $100 a month on deadgum newspaper subscriptions. So, I wish coaches would put their team stats up somewhere where we can access them, and you don't have to pay to access them. I mean, you're helping your kids out by doing that.
Yeah, maybe we need to create a database for them.
Well, I consider that, Lee, but I don't know exactly where I'd have time to log into it and do all that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty covered up now, brother. Anyway.
Might be something to.
Yeah, I mean.
Go out and get it built.
It'd be good. I mean, I got the website. I just maybe I can get some of it and draft some of these guys to do that for me. You reckon?
Yeah, maybe.
Hendersonville and Mount Juliet, Lee, and you like Hendersonville.
I do. I'm going to go out on a limb. Everybody else several went Hendersonville and several.
About a split,
about
ain't it?
50-50 split. Most of them like MJ at home.
I don't know, man. This was probably the one I had the most trouble with.
Hendersonville had a resounding win over Rossview. Double them up.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. And then 84% of our fan base on Twitter likes Mount Juliet. But that doesn't say anything, and I'm going to tell you why, because we got a pretty good following at Mount Juliet. Our polls every week, if it involves Mount Juliet, that is always the most voted on poll.
Yep.
They get the word out, and there's a lot of Friday main event fans at Mount Juliet. which makes me not want to pick against them. But I'm really seriously leaning towards you, Lee, because, I mean, if you look at it, that big win over Rossview last week tells me they're playing their best game right now. And I got to go Hendersonville just based on that. But who knows, man? I mean, I don't know if Mount Judah had everybody for that Rossview. That's the COVID season. You don't know if a team's at full strength or not. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with Hendersonville. I think that game could potentially be very close. South Green and Happy Valley, Lee. You got a 9-0 team in South Green. Sean Jones, new head coach. He was former offensive coordinator there. What a way to start your coaching career. Undefeated, 9-0.
They beat a good Hampton squad.
Beat a darn good Hampton squad. A Hampton squad that I still think could potentially be a quarterfinal, maybe even semifinal team. I mean, of course, they got to get through Meigs.
They beat a darn good Hampton team.
Beat a darn good 4 points, 35-31.
Yep. I'm going to go South Green, Mike.
South Green. Happy Valley's sitting at 5-3. They beat Sullivan North. They beat Johnson County, and this is 3A teams they beat. Unica, but they lost to Hampton, and they lost to Unicoi County. It's just a good Happy Valley team. I just, I want to make sure you understand that. This is not a bad team. But I agree with you. South Green, 80% of our fan base likes South Green. I like South Green. And I like, if it happens, and it could happen, I like Hampton in the rematch. Because I'm big on Hampton.
Yeah, 4-point game. What?
4-point game. It was close. Yeah. And I think it was at South Green. But I think those are two good teams.
Yes.
So what's everybody got? South Green? Pulling?
Big Daddy Dave is pulling for Happy Valley, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go South Green, too.
Macon County, Livingston Academy, Lee Teat. I've been doing the playoff stuff, man. You're supposed to be reminding me to do that. You want to flip back and look at that right quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's 2A. That won't take me just a second. I'll go over it real quick. 2A, South Green, should they win, they would be the 1 seed in the region. They'd play Cumberland Gap. And then Happy Valley. Happy Valley, I got them as a 3rd seed. If they lose, they would have to travel to Rockwood. Tough place to play.
Yes.
All right, Lee. So going back to our big games, Macon County and Livingston Academy. You got a firm field on this one. This is a region 3, 4A.
Man, Mike, I like Macon County in this game.
You like Macon County, and of course, as we look at the projections for this one, the Macon County Livingston Academy winner would host the Nolensville Marshall County loser tomorrow night. The loser of this game would travel to the winner. So you know your opponent's going to be Marshall County or Nolensville either way.
That's correct.
It depends on
how it flips out.
Yeah, whether you are hosting or traveling, essentially. I
like Macon County.
You like Macon County? I'm kind of leaning that direction too, Lee. Looking at that, Livingston Academy has beaten Westmoreland, Upperman, Stone Memorial, and Smith County. Lost to Cookeville, lost to Cobb County, lost to White County. They've lost to a couple of really good teams. And then the flip side of that, Macon County's beaten Smith County, Westmoreland, Stone Memorial. They lost to Trousdale County and DeKalb County. So, obviously, both teams have lost to the region champion DeKalb, who's not going to get to play, ironically. I wish I'd done a little bit of score comparison, which I failed to do. Macon County played DeKalb real close. I think I'm going to go with you.
Another reason, too, Mike, is Livingston played York, and 15-7, and York is not good.
So, and they barely beat them last week, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Macon County's playing a little bit better football.
Right now.
Yep.
I'll agree. I'll go with you, Macon County. Looks like everybody's going with us. Big Dave says it'll be close.
Yeah.
Maybe. Cane Ridge at Laverne, Lee.
This is a good, interesting matchup.
Region 5 matchup right here. And if we look at the Class 6A playoff, the way this is going to play out is we've got Laverne right now as the 2 seed is going to play the Ravenwood or Independence. It's kind of weird how it's playing out because the Independence doesn't play Ravenwood. Yeah, they do play Ravenwood. I don't have winner or loser. What did I do? It has to be the loser, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand my own notes here, Lee. That's bad, ain't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, Laverne, I've got. How
Bell.
have I got? I've already got them projected. I've already got Laverne projected as a 2 seed. What did I get out of that? Laverne is 4-1. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Laverne is 4-1. Cane Ridge is 2-2. Cane Ridge ain't got to play like that. I guess it's the tiebreaker's way it plays out. Even if Laverne loses, they still get the. I'm gonna trust my prep work, Lee, and I'm gonna assume that Laverne is locked into the 2 seed. Sorry, folks, I didn't do a lot of research here, but Laverne will be the 2 seed. If I got it, it's the way it is. I never make mistakes. You know that,
yeah.
don't you?
I like Cane Ridge.
You like Cane Ridge? I'm leaning Cane Ridge also,
Banner's
Lee.
banged up.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
He had a good week against Smyrna last week, but he's banged up. They banged him up pretty hard. He carried the ball a ton last week, man.
Yeah, he had 209 rushing yards, 2 TDs last week. He got 1,654 yards on the season, 24 TDs.
Yeah,
he was a Mr. Football candidate, no doubt.
Beat him up a little bit last week. I mean, he had good numbers, but he took a lot of pops last week, lots of carries, and I think Cane Ridge. Really, I mean, Laverne, is this a must-win for them? No.
No, it's not.
You know, might be a good week to sit him.
I think their position doesn't change, win or lose. I think they're the 2 seed. That's what I've got in my notes anyway, Lee. I've got to trust my notes. I could flip back here right quick and try to verify that. But I didn't have any other condition for the 2 seeds, so I assume they're locked into that.
Yeah,
which would make sense to what you're saying.
I'm going to go Cane Ridge.
Cane Ridge with Xavier Clemens, 889 yards, 9 TDs to 3 interceptions in only 4 games. Only played 4 games, Lee.
Yeah, Willard said the same thing. Smyrna dinged him up, and he was out midway through the 3rd.
Okay. Most of the yards came in the first half.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
Yeah. You got receivers Ty Good, 404 yards, 3 TD catches. I don't think the offense has been a problem for Cane Ridge. I think maybe defensively they got to make some adjustments. Eddie Woods is a darn good coach, though. I think he'll have them ready to go by next week. And again, if we look at that one more time, they'll play Brentwood or Independence, whoever wins that region.
That's a dangerous game.
It's a dangerous game. It is. Yes, it is. If Independence wins tomorrow night, it'll be Cane Ridge at Independence.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose, it'll be Cane Ridge at Brentwood.
Mm.
That's how that works out.
That's a dangerous game.
So, we are both going Cane Ridge,
yes.
Correct? Huntland at Richland Lee Teat. Huntland, oddly enough, is in a position where they have to win to make the playoffs. I tried to explain that to some people on Coach T this week that wasn't buying into that, but through the process of tiebreakers and whatnot, if Huntland loses to Richland, that puts both of them at 3 losses. Of course, it would actually put them and Cornersville and Richland all a 3-way tie. And if that happened, Cornersville would get the 3 seed as a result of more overall wins. Then the 4th seed will be decided by head-to-head, which if Richland beats Huntland, they get the head-to-head. So a long way around to say that Huntland's got to win to get into playoffs. And they should. They're favorite. Kobe Stewart's playing really good again. He had an injury there mid-season. He's got 1,091 yards, 15 TDs, and that's only in 8 games, Lee. Bryson Johnson, he's really a clone to Kobe Stewart. 2 big kids. I think Johnson's only a sophomore, so he's going to be stepping into that role next year when Kobe graduates. And that run game is always good. They run that wing tee. Kermit Reed, he coached under Coach McCurry. So, they know the wing tee over there at Huntland, no doubt. Bob Robertson, a lot of you coached 23 years at Huntland, 24 now.
I'm going to go Huntland, buddy. I like the run game.
Like the run game. Offensive line, solid, man. I like Nick Patterson. Nick Patterson's done a really good job there at Richland, but I think they're going to be a little overwhelmed tomorrow night as Huntland comes to town. Last game here, Lee, before we go to coaches' interviews, we got Greenfield at West Carroll. Greenfield, I know you've been on them all year, 8-0, 5-0 in region play. Took a COVID win over Lake County. I would like to have seen that game last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then West Carroll knocked off South Fulton 43-12. West Carroll was a team we had in the top 10 in preseason, Lee. Unfortunately, they've had a lot of COVID issues. They beat Gleason, Gibson County, Houston County, South Fulton, lost to Dresden, and lost to Lake County. Thoughts?
Greenfield.
You going to stick with the Yellow Jackets?
Yes, sir.
59% of our fan base like West Carroll to win this game. Mike Molder likes West Carroll to win this game. Dustin West likes Greenfield. Clint Hammonds likes Greenfield. I ain't gonna do what I want to do. I'm not gonna give you guys a bird. I'm just.
You gonna look at that playoff?
Yeah, let me look at that, Lee.
This has got region.
Thank you. Yes, it does. 1A. Looking at a quad 4. What we got is Greenfield. If they win, well, I think either way, Greenfield's gonna be the 1 seed.
That's correct.
They'll play Dresden, and Lake County is the 2 seed. We'll play West Carroll. Apparently this, I'm guessing I've got this already set. I don't have any ifs, ands, or whatever. So this is apparently set, so this game is basically meaningless.
Because there's no Region 8.
Yeah, there's no Region 8, right, but I'm saying far as seeding goes because of COVID losses and stuff, West Carroll can't advance any higher. Greenfield can't drop any lower. Game doesn't mean anything. West Carroll's locked in as a 4 seed, but I still like them to win. I know you're and Greenfield's got a lot more to play for. They got a shot at an undefeated season. How often do you get that?
Yep.
So they definitely got the ante a lot higher for Greenfield. I just think West Carroll is a better team, in my opinion.
They lost to Dresden.
I'm just going West Carroll, Lee.
Greenfield beat Dresden.
I'm just going West Carroll, Lee. You're entitled to your opinion there, big boy.
Ain't gonna sway you.
Well, you ain't gonna sway me, man. I've been picking pretty good against you here lately, so you ain't gonna sway me.
Oh no.
Talk that smack, right?
Yeah.
That'll bite you every time, won't it? Yeah, I'm going West Carroll. What we got over here? West Carroll, Greenfield, about a split.
Yeah.
About what I expected. There's smart ones on my side.
West Tennessee.
Oh, heck, we don't have any smart ones.
Dustin West, he's with me.
Oh, you're screwed then. There you go.
Big Daddy Dave says, drink some more juice.
I don't know what he means by that. All right, Lee, let's get off of here, and we'll get the
Coach Harig.
Coach Harig lined up. This is the Friday main event. I am Mike Molder. He is Lee Teat. He is Roy Dillard. Well, I went to Tullahoma and Nolensville last week, Lee, so I got some scrimmage video from that game. So I'll play that for you guys while we get the coach on the phone. We'll be back in a minute.
Sean Cummings on the carry for Tullahoma. He's brought down by Mike McWilliams. Brings up a 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats. Cummings on the carry once again for the Cats. Tackled by Grant Reeder. That gain is enough for another Tullahoma 1st down. Joe Duncan on the reception for Tullahoma. Tackled by 47, Taylor Ween. Second down and 1 for the Cats.
All right, Lee, we are back here, Friday main event. Mike Molder, Lee Teat, Roy Dillard in the background here. We've been covering big games, a lot of big games for tomorrow night, a lot of region titles on the line, a lot of playoff positions on the line. But, Lee, we're going to start the coaches out now, and we got a great coach on with us. Loudon head coach Jeff Harig joins us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you all for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, I think you spent 21 years at Loudon, before a brief stint there at Knox West in 2000 with the 2012 season. You had 2 years. You returned to the program after, a brief stint, like I said, there at West. Things were really off kilter, after you left. How special was it for you to get back to Loudon and try to get things correct, to get the ship righted, so to speak?
Well, Loudon has become home to me. I moved here in 1994, worked under a great head coach in Tim Daniels, who's from the same hometown that I am in Ohio. And when he moved on to Chattanooga Red Bank, my wife and I decided to stay here in Loudon, and I was fortunate enough to get the head job. And, my sons grew up in this program. To a certain extent, I was just a Yankee from Ohio that kind of grew into the Southern way in Loudon, and the people really took care of me and have embraced me. We decided to maybe branch out a little bit for 2 years in Knoxville, but ultimately my kids were the driving force behind us returning home, and we like to call Loudon home. It is home to us. It's home to my sons, and for my oldest son, who graduated Loudon 2 years ago, for him to come back and finish his junior and senior year at Loudon and have his brother be a starting quarterback as a freshman, that was a special moment for us.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, you guys weren't able to play against Walker Valley because you had some COVID contact tracing that cut your numbers down a little bit. Does it look like you guys are going to be able to defend the region title against Red Bank tomorrow night? And if so, are you going to be at full force?
Well, ultimately, we're not going to be at full force. The Thursday before the Walker Valley game, we lost 3 starters Thursday at noon. And my biggest concern was, having one practice to replace those starters. And having already had a offensive line starter out on a previous COVID tracing suspension, ultimately we would have had to put 3 new offensive linemen in there on a Thursday afternoon. And so I felt it best for us, seeing that we've already clinched the number 1 seed for the playoffs. I felt it best to go ahead and delay playing until the following week when we could regroup and have an entire week to prepare to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I know, it's been a weird season with all this stuff going on, and, neither of y'all, Red Bank or yourselves, have actually lost a game on the field, How do you feel you match up with them?
Well, ultimately they're going to be more athletic. I felt last year they were more athletic. To me, the difference was the heart of our team, the ability of our team to give an outstanding effort, and then Drew Jackson making big plays, and Keaton, my quarterback there, making plays when it mattered most. We got control of the game the second time last year at the start of the second half.
Right.
So, the biggest thing for us is the speed of the game. The speed of the game is going to be unlike anything we've been able to play so far this year or simulate in practice. So both times we played Red Bank last year, it took us, 4 or 5 minutes to get adjusted. And so for us, it's going to be very, very important for us to weather the storm the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, settle down, and be able to adjust to the speed to the point where now we can start doing things on both sides of the ball, much like we did last year.
Well, Coach, you guys, you really dominated your competition the last two seasons. You destroyed everyone last year, including giving a very good Red Bank team, as you mentioned, their only two losses. And then you run into Alcoa, that dominating Alcoa team, wind up getting a shutout. With the new classification coming out last week, I've heard many people think, potentially this is a year Alcoa opts to play up a level, and they probably should, given the history they've had in that class. Have you guys heard any talk of that maybe happening?
There has been some talk. When I first became a head coach at Loudon, my fourth year, we went into the same region as them, and so we got to play them twice. And over a 4 to 5 year period, we had 12 games with them. And so it made me a better coach going against Gary Rankin and his staff. It made me a better coach. It made our team a better team. And, in that 5-6 year span, we had two teams that were able to play a 4-quarter game with them. Now it just seems they kind of skewed things in 3A football. You've got Alcoa and everybody else.
Yes.
And so, I've heard stuff that they're going to go 4A, but I don't. Why would they? I don't see any benefit of theirs to do it. Everybody knows they're a good team. I'm sitting watching them right now against the 6A Dobbins Bennett.
Yeah.
They play great competition. They do a great job as a staff. I can't imagine why they would choose to play up.
I got you.
Well, speaking of reclassification, if the projections stay true, your regional will remain the same except for Red Bank, which will move up to 4A. Do you plan to talk to Coach Brown about keeping that game on the schedule if indeed they do move up?
Well, I'm open for anything. I'm looking at our scheduling here tonight. I was spending some time on it, and anytime you go 22-1 in your last 3 games, obviously it's going to be a very difficult time to find a schedule, especially amongst 3A teams.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the Knox County schools, South Doyle and Knox West, have called wanting to know, if we want to play. The reality is we're a rural school with athletes that give their best. You're not going to see any SEC football players on our roster anytime soon. I know over the years South Doyle has, Knox West has kids that are have gotten offers from SEC teams. Red Bank has a young defensive back that's a junior. That's an SEC offer from South Carolina. And so, what I like to do is I like to search for programs that do a good job, that have athletes like ours. And, that's hard sometimes because of our success in the last few years.
We're speaking with Loudon head coach Jeff Harig here on the Friday Main Event. Coach, the Mr. Football nominations went out this week. You've got a very worthy candidate on your squad. Of course, I'm talking about your son Keaton. He's thrown for 1,430 yards, 17 TDs, only turned the ball over once, 1 interception. I think he's also rushed for 405 yards, 3 more TDs. Really impressive stat to me. He's 24-6. And he's also getting it done in the classroom with a 3.875 GPA. I never saw that back in my day. So, talk a minute about what Keaton has meant to the success of this program.
Well, I'd be remiss if I've been corrected. Apparently, he's gotten 1B, but he's taken some honors courses. Apparently, when I put that thing together, he has a 4.125 according to his mother.
Oh.
When I knew he had 1B, I thought, well, he must be in that 3.875 range. But regardless, he's just an outstanding young man. If he wasn't my son, we probably will celebrate him more than what we do. I've always been very weary of, promoting my sons as a head coach. Sometimes it comes across as daddy ball and stuff like that.
Right.
But, any accolades Keaton earns, it's because of his work ethic. During this entire COVID 3-month school where we didn't have any school for 3 months, we continued to work out. He continued to study film and really invested in his technique this offseason, really invested in his understanding of defenses. And I think that's been, apparent in his 17 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's completing right around 70% of his passes. And, on Friday nights, starting last year and into this year, he just gives us an identity of the ability to not only run the football, which Loudon is well known for, but be a dual threat and be able to throw the football. And when you can have balance as an offense, it really makes it hard on the defense. And not only that, but he has that ability to extend plays with his athleticism, and we can also have design runs with him. So he really puts a lot of pressure on opposing defenses, and we have the talent that surrounds him to take advantage of what the defense has truly given us.
Well, Coach, another kid that's been important to your success is your senior running back in Mackenzie Lunsford. Talk a little bit about him.
Well, he was a guy that was very undervalued last year. Playing behind Drew Jackson the way he did, he still rushed for over 800 yards last year, and as a backup tailback and a hybrid type receiver for us. This year, he's an undersized guy in that he's 5'8", probably 155 pounds, but he possesses great speed. He's shifty and is able to make the first guy miss. What he lacks in power, though, he makes up as a great receiver. And so a lot of times we'll spread him out and go no back. We'll use him out of the backfield as a pass receiver, but he's also very good with the ball in his hands, having handed it to him in the open field as well.
Well, Coach, one thing that's really been impressive about this team is the defense. I know senior Devon Nichols and junior Joshua Gonzalez are two key members of that defense. Talk about those guys and who else really sticks out to you as a leader on that side of the ball.
Well, Devin Nichols is our starting middle linebacker, and we try to funnel everything to him. Josh Gonzalez is a junior, great kid, 6'3", 225. Just a specimen type looking kind of kid that plays defensive end for us. Some other guys, we like to line up in a three-man front, but we always try to blitz our Braves to a four-man front. And so Hayden Hauser is a guy that creates mismatch problems because of his size and athleticism. And our whole goal is to try to create negative plays by the offense and get ahead of the down and distance, and then some of our specialty packages, whether it be nickel or Mustang, or we just make the offense one-dimensional and we stay in our base coverage. And so Caden Dawkins is another young man who, he's probably 5'6", 130 pounds at most, maybe 115 at best. It's a kid that makes big plays for us, and I know opposing coaches cannot believe the type of plays he makes for us, having been so small. But those are two guys that also stand out on our defense as well.
Well, Coach, we talked about the amazing career and year that Keaton's having, but, quarterback's only as good as the guys in front of him. Who are the leaders of your team up front, and how many of those guys will be returning next year?
Well, for us, our whole program revolves around our offensive line.
Right.
It starts with our senior center, Caleb Oliver. Unfortunately, Caleb is missed, and he'll miss Friday night. He'll miss 4 games because of COVID tracing. 2 from a Signal Mountain player who tested positive and got our starting center and our 2 starting guards after that game. But also, he was a tracer from a student in one of his classrooms that he was within 6 feet of. And so it's unfortunate for him to have to miss 4 games of his senior year. We look forward to getting him back for that first playoff game and keeping him throughout. But that's kind of the strength of our offensive line. From there, it's senior Jesse Robinson, who is our right guard. We'll have him Friday night. Max Markham is our right tackle. And all these guys were 3-year starters. So when Keaton was inserted in the lineup as a freshman, these 3 guys kind of had his back and really have led the way for us the last several years. And, to have them for 3 years and to have your quarterback for these last 3 years, our entire right side and center have kind of been a pillar of success for us over the last 3 years.
Well, Coach, we've taken up enough of your time, brother, but Lee and I really appreciate you taking the time to jump on with us. Hopefully, if you guys roll on in these playoffs and advance, we can get you on with us again.
Well, I'd be honored. I just appreciate y'all having me on.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you Friday, buddy.
Thank y'all. Appreciate what you do.
Thanks, Coach.
See you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, Lee, Jeff Harig. Man, I hate that. He got contact trace from somebody they played. Where does it end? Where does it end? This stuff is getting crazy. Whatever.
No comment.
Whatever. I'm a troublemaker. I forgot. I find out on Coach T. I'm the problem. They didn't see that Facebook Live. Check out the DeKalb County thread. Apparently, my attitude is a problem with the whole state. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even want
to. Yeah. I tried to leave it alone, Lee. You know me. I couldn't leave it alone. But anyway, yeah. People like me are the problem with the state. So.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it is.
All
right, Lee. Let's go ahead and look at a little bit more scrimmage video from that Tullahoma-Nolensville game, and we'll get Coach Chris Hughes, Fairview, on with us. Mike Molder, Lee Teat, Roy Dillard. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Dillard worked on the completion from Nolensville, tackled by Owen Street. Second 2 for the night. Chance Fitzgerald is incomplete. And having stopped and recovered. Third down and 2. Johnson on the carry for the Knights. Justin Scott on the tackle with a flag on the play. Procedure penalty on Nolensville. Penalties declined by Tullahoma. Brings up 4th down and 2.
All right, Lee, that was scrimmage video from that Nolensville-Tullahoma game last week. Tullahoma I was very impressed with them. Very impressed. I think they got a shot of challenging Elizabethton this year.
They're good.
They're good, absolutely. Speaking of good,
if they meet up, that will be a good one.
That'll be a good one. It's a strong possibility. Speaking of good, Lee, we got a really good coach on with us. We've got Fairview head coach Chris Hughes on with us, and he's not only a good coach, he's a good football player.
That's right.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We couldn't be better, man. How's your flag foot? Did you guys get to play this year with the COVID stuff going on?
We've been playing a lot. So we've had leagues going on. I played about 6 tournaments, and we got our big nationals coming up in January. So hopefully after we make this run at the state, and then we can head off and play some flag afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. The American Football League video with Tim Campbell you posted on Facebook for your birthday. That's probably some of the funny stuff I ever seen, man. You guys have a great time with that league, don't you, buddy?
We really do, and the AFFL put that video out, I think it was 2 years ago. They did it on my birthday and just told me happy birthday by doing that little video.
I rolled out on the floor watching that, man.
What's so funny, and Tim said it best, Tim Campbell said, it'd be different if it was set up, but we're like that all the time. We're just having a good time and enjoying, playing a game we love.
Well, Coach, speaking of a good time, man, your team there at Fairview, you've had an amazing season so far. You got one loss to a 6A school in Lebanon. I'm assuming you're real happy with how y'all performed this year.
Yeah, I'm pleased. I knew we were going to have a good team. I've got 18 seniors, and all have played significant time since their sophomore year, and we're really senior heavy this year. And I was looking forward to this season until Corona came in and kind of put a damper on it. But all things considered, I mean, we've got to play football. These kids have got to kind of showcase what they can do, and we're getting good effort out of our kids, and we've got some talent. That's one of the things I've been very fortunate is at Fairview. I've always had talented kids.
Well, your opponent tomorrow night in Stewart County, got an identical record, 7-1, 4-0 in region play. How'd the Rebels look on film, and do you see some things that you're gonna be able to expose?
Well, they got a good quarterback. They got a real fast, little speedy receiver, slot back. Their defense is very aggressive. I mean, I've seen a lot of things out of them. Coach Schwartz and Coach Ruiz and those guys have done a good job turning that program around. They had 6 wins last year. Now they're up to 7 wins already. And, their goal is to dethrone us from that region title. And we've won the region 4 straight years. And if we can take care of business tomorrow, that'll be 5 straight years. You won't see many teams that have won the region for 5 consecutive years. So it's a big jewel in our crown if we can make it happen tomorrow. But I think they're motivated to make sure we don't let it happen.
Well, I kind of messed up how I intended to start this interview. Marty Wheeler, former Covington head coach, now over at Cleveland, he likes to give me a hard time about out-kicking the coverage. He's always talking about my wife. I just wanted to tell you a happy anniversary, my friend, with that trophy wife you got there. I'm on your Facebook. How in the world do you manage that?
Well, she doesn't see very well, and I'm a good talker. I've been very fortunate. Got a new house, and we're moved into.
I saw that.
And two kids living with us, and one off already, and we're starting to get now that I'm 53, I'm starting to get my life together. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you and I are the same age. I forgot about that. We're talking to Fairview head coach Chris Hughes here on Friday minute. Hey, Coach, I'm gonna get back to football now. I had to rib you a little bit. Keene graduated last year, so obviously you're breaking in a new quarterback this season. I think Riley Bennett done a really good job for you guys. I think he's thrown 11 TDs, no interceptions. How would you evaluate his performance so far?
I think Riley's A+ this whole season. He's come in with, not having a full off season, due to the COVID, and really performed well. Outdid expectations. I knew he was talented. He's always been he's a state wrestling finalist the last 2 years.
Wow.
And he is just an athlete, and he's not blessed with a lot of height. You can't control your parents, and they're short, just like mine.
Exactly.
But he's a little guy, but man, he can run, he can throw, he's got moxie, and he takes care of the football. He makes great decisions, and he's put us in good situations, and really took a lot of pressure off of Logan Nardozzi, who was kind of carrying the ball a whole lot for us. Now they have to worry about Riley as well, and if you can run and throw, it's a lot harder for that defense.
Oh yeah.
If you're limited to one thing, it's easy to game plan.
Right.
Well, Coach, you just mentioned Logan there. He's averaging close to 100 yards a game again this year and 11 rushing TDs. He's going to be a pretty tough kid to try and replace next year.
Oh, man. I don't even want to think about it. I'm hoping they get a COVID year. Will they do it in high school?
There you go. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Can y'all make that happen, Mike?
I got a lot of pull. I can probably make that happen for you.
Oh no, you didn't hear.
TWSAA, see if they'll give us a COVID year for those 3.
You didn't hear it, Coach Hughes. Mike is the problem with Tennessee.
Yeah, I had a DeKalb County. Yeah, you need to check that out on Coach Steve. I had a DeKalb County fan today tell me I'm the problem. I'm the COVID problem in the state of Tennessee. My attitude.
Man, my heart breaks for those teams, Mike.
Me too.
I just don't understand it, and I think if and I've told several people if that happens here, I'll probably be one of the loudest ones. I'll probably be right there with you, and I just hate to see kids that don't get another chance. It would be different if they gave them a COVID year, but they don't.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These kids have ended their high school career without a chance at the state playoffs, and you don't know what's going to happen. Heck, look at a few years ago when Stratford had 2 wins and made a run all the way to the semifinals.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just don't know, and I hate all of the teams that have had to forfeit games, have games moved. I just really hate it for them.
Yeah, look at the Shelby County, man, and they didn't get to play at all. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Crazy. Lawrence County going through it now. I mean,
Mhm.
there's several places, and you're just one or two people from getting your whole team quarantined, and it can happen to you. So
Yep.
I'm minding my P's and Q's. We're trying our best to social distance and keep masks, follow the guidelines so we can finish this season. I've kind of told our boys, it's up to you. Stay away from each other and, do what you can to
Yep.
get this football season in. But it's hard. It's
Yep.
hard on
It
them.
is.
It really is.
It is hard
Yeah.
on them.
It is.
Yes.
Coach, looking at the other side of the ball in your defense, you got guys like Logan Parsons, Layden Grant, Whit Evers, Jacob Clevenger. All those kids, man, got over 30 tackles each on the season.
I'm telling you, our defense has been lights out. I mean, it is really the difference this year, and it's what I really am excited about, giving us a chance as we go on. We had Lebanon down 14-13 at the half, and
That's
our
right.
defense was playing lights out against a really good running back up at Lebanon. Now, the second half, he probably earned a scholarship playing against us, but the first half we held him in check, and then we run out of gas. But all year long, our defense has maintained people and put us in good situations, and they're really playing aggressive, and I'm really excited to see, when we get into this, because I know you guys were one of the ones, I think, early in the year said it's hard, to really get to where we want to go, and we've got to toughen up our schedule. So by playing Lebanon and Dixon and trying to find some more people to play to get us ready for those playoffs,
Yeah.
And I feel like that game, even though we lost, is probably the best thing that happened to us because our defense got to experience that.
That's right.
If you dominate every week, you kind of resting on your laurels, and having Lebanon run through us like that made them know, hey, you got to bring your A game every week because there's going to be some backs in the playoffs like that. So, but the defense has played great. I'm so excited. Coach King and Coach Joey Jackson have had us in the right situations, the right spots, and really one or two, three maybe mess ups a game is the only reason people are scoring. I don't know if you saw last week, but Dixon had 2 plays for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they have 42 plays for 109 yards. So if we take those 2 plays away where we messed up, then we're going to be in really good shape going forward.
Right.
Well, Coach, Bryce Fannin, I think he's accounted for 3 interceptions. I think he also leads the team in receiving. Talk about Bryce for a minute. What's he meant to your team this year?
Man, Bryce has been our leader. I mean, he has really been our vocal leader, our mental leader. Bryce knows everything the other team's going to do and kind of leads our defense. He's playing safety back there and lining people up, making sure we recognize numbers in certain positions and what plays they run off of those. He is a heady, smart football player. And offensively, I've kind of saved him. I didn't use him a lot early on, keeping him on the defensive side of the ball. But as we get closer to the playoffs, I started breaking him in. He started scoring touchdowns, and now he's playing both ways and getting ready for that run. But Bryce is a special player, and he's tall, he's fast, he's very intelligent, and he's given us that little bit of leadership that we need. Hopefully it'll push us through.
Coach, one quick question here. We know the enrollment numbers came out, and you guys are in the 3A again.
Yes, sir.
Any potential that you will opt up to 4A?
No, there's not. I mean, I've had people ask me that so many times, and I think there's teams that works for and teams that it doesn't. We're in a good situation where
Right.
we're at that I feel like, and I know there's Alcoa waiting there, but our best path to a silver ball right now is still the way we're going.
Okay.
And if with the team we're playing, look at Tullahoma this year. I mean, they are really good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that we'd be in their region. Now, I don't think they're going to have that good a team again, but we're probably not either.
John
So
Olive said that's the best team he's ever had.
Well, I tell you what, they're really good.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I've seen Tullahoma and Marshall County, and that's where we would head in that 4 region.
Right.
And
Right.
I feel like, that path, if we can get through, we've still got the Metro teams lined up in front of us, and then you got Covington and Milan out west, along with Westview and some other teams. But we looked at it, and we just feel like in the next few years with what we've got coming and who we see on our schedule, that we'll have a better shot at 3A. Now, if I thought 4A was good for us and we had a better chance, I would head that way.
Absolutely.
So it's all considered. If anybody tells you they don't consider it, they're not being honest.
It's a crapshoot, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you look because you want to know what gives us the best chance to make it to the state championship.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's right. But I think where we're at, we're getting close. We've been
Yeah.
to the quarterfinals 5 times. All we got to do is get over that hump.
Yeah.
Get past that 3rd round, take a shot at those teams out there in West Tennessee, and then get to Alcoa. And if I got a chip in a chair, maybe Alcoa fumbles 5 times. Who knows?
There you go.
Maybe Rankin gets COVID and don't coach above Rankin. Something. So, I don't wish that on him, man.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, hey, brother, appreciate you jumping up. We always enjoy talking to you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You're a great dude, and you got a gorgeous wife, by the way. Did I mention that?
Yeah, you know what? Everybody tells me that. I think she's probably the luckiest woman in the world. I feel like
I'm sure that's what people think. I'm sure that's what people think when they see y'all's picture.
Murphy Fair says that all the time. He goes, I just can't get past it. How in the world? But I said, look, if I go to college, look how good a recruiter I am.
There you go. There
like
you
James
go.
Franklin said.
That's a sales pitch, ain't it?
Hey, I was happy to be on here tonight because you got a star-studded lineup on here. I was amazed I made the card. I know I was the undercard, but when Bobby Sharpnell's coming up, that's pretty big time there.
Hey, you're up toward the top with us, brother. Anytime you want.
Y'all do have a good lineup tonight. I look forward to hearing what these other coaches have to say.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, appreciate you, brother. We'll try to holler at you again if you get through this first couple of rounds. We'll try to get you on with us again.
That sounds great, Mike. You and Lee have a good one, man.
All right,
Thanks, Coach. See you, brother.
All righty. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
I love that dude. He is hilarious. You need to. Are you on his Facebook? You need that video. I thought you need to check that out. I literally was rolling out on the floor laughing, man. It was that funny. He's a good dude. Good dude. All right, Lee. What a shock, Lee. Guess what?
Minute behind.
We're behind. So we're going to cut back to some more scrimmage video for you guys. Tullahoma offense right here coming at you. And we'll get Coach Bobby Sharp on the phone with us. We'll be back in a minute.
Ryan Scott's pass attempt to Brody Melton falls incomplete. 3rd down and 8. Tullahoma. Ryan Scott's pass to Joe Duncan is complete.
All right, Lee Teat, we are back. We had some good coaches on so far. Obviously, we had Jeff Harig on, Loudon. We just got off the phone with Fairview head coach Chris Hughes, and he kind of introduced our next head coach. And, of course, he was happy to be mentioned in the same conversation with the next man we got. And, of course, we got Hall of Famer, Lewis County head coach Bobby Sharp on with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Well, I'm doing pretty well. Just enjoying this season.
It's been a crazy season, hasn't it, Coach?
Well, we were talking about that today, and I was telling my kids, you go back as to, I think we said 1918 before anything like this happened before in the United States, and it's just been an unreal year for everybody, and not just football, but just the way of life we've been dealing with.
Well, Coach, I think this is your 33rd year there at Lewis County. I think Coach Meskey over at Knox Webb I think I believe he's the only active coach that's been tenured longer than you. What is it about Lewis County that's kept you at that same spot all these years?
Well, of course, I graduated from here, played from here, so I'm an alumni.
Okay.
And of course, when I came back home, I guess a few years ago, like you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I never intended on, finishing up my career here, but it's kind of flown, and you hear and you look around, and 32 years, 33 years later, here you sit, and it's just life happening.
Well, Coach, you won an amazing 271 games in your career. There's very few coaches ever even going to touch that number, But we got Gary Rankin, who's sitting over here on the east side of the state at 447.
Wow.
Do you ever see that record being broken?
Well, I don't. I mean, he's gone to some pretty good schools where they've had, tremendous success. And, the only way I see that thing being broken is like I used to work for a guy named John Tucker down in West Tennessee.
Right.
Who had that record at one time with just a few wins over 300.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, they only played 10, 12 ball games and finally got up to 15. So unless the number increases, the number of games during the season, we won't see that record broken in our lifetime, I guarantee you.
I totally agree with you. Well, Coach, you've been at it a long time, obviously, as we just mentioned. You had to have seen a lot of great football players in your long, lengthy career. Who jumps out at you, as probably the best player you ever coached?
Well, it'd be between one or two players. Of course, the one here at Lewis County would be Randall Hankins. I bring him up all the time. Of course, I'm real fortunate I got his son playing for me this year.
There you go.
And I mean, and I also had a guy when I was at Milan, I was real fortunate to coach. His name was Ernest Fields, went on and played at the University of Tennessee, and was a co-captain up there and a 3-year starter at linebacker. But, I got to coach him a little bit in Milan, and, of course, I got to coach Randall a whole lot here. But, it's hard to pick, the best, but those are certainly two of the best I've ever been around in football.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of some of the best, you were inducted into the Football Hall of Fame in 2017 with David Martin, Ricky Bowers, David Meskey, and George Quarles. That's a pretty doggone impressive group to go into the Hall of Fame with, ain't it, Coach?
Well, it is, and I certainly don't belong with that crowd.
I don't know about that.
When I sit and look at those guys, the epitome of success in high school football in Tennessee, and just to be able to be mentioned with that group is pretty special, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, you've had a ton of great coaches that have come up through your system, learned their trade under you. Kevin Creasy comes to mind, Nick Patterson, another guy we've had on the show, a couple of guys come to mind. Do you know how many former assistants that have come up through that program with you guys that have got their own program now?
Ooh, there's a few. I know there's Matt McConnell that's over at Camden.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Spivey used to be over at South Fulton. He's over in West Tennessee. I think I've got one down in Georgia. Troy Williams, he came through, was head coach over at Dixon. I mean, we've had several, that've come through. And of course, it was certainly my honor to work with those guys because, they went on and been successful at other places. And several of them are out now, in administration. And, they're hiring young coaches now. So,
Right.
But I've had a lot of good ones, and I got a lot of good ones now. I've been really blessed through the years, I'm going to tell you.
I guess Creasy's your pride and joy, ain't he?
Well, he is. He's done real well, but that gum, there's been so many. I got to coach Kevin Ward when I was in Milan. He's done, just unbelievable down in West Tennessee. And, I've got some on my staff now that I think, we're going to be talking about in the future. So, there's been some good ones. And hey, probably one of my best is my superintendent who went the administrative route, who's Vinny Pace. He was one of my better coaches. So, I've been blessed, man. I'm just great coaches.
Mike Molder and Lee Teat, talking to Hall of Famer Bobby Sharp here on the Friday Main Event. Coach, you Panthers, man, what a season you have, and you're sitting there at 9-0. You got Forest coming to town in a showdown for the region title tomorrow night. Of course, this is the same situation you guys were headed into Week 11 last year. How do you feel that the teams compare this year?
Well, I mean, we're real similar. I mean, you know, we in the region, you know, there's not a lot of difference in our type of play and their type of play. Kind of mirrors when you look at us. You know, I sit and watch both of them. You know, they're a wing tee team. They're getting a little bit of tee like we do, and it's kind of like playing yourself in practice. Is what it's like. I talked to Coach Eli over there today, and I told him, I said, man, there's so many similarities. It's almost scary. And but you know, we're just glad that we're in this spot. You know, last year they certainly had an outstanding football team, and you know, we came out of there on the short end, and thank goodness we're back home this year.
There you go.
And, but it ought to be a barn burner, I'm gonna tell you.
Mm.
Well, Coach, you know, you got Junior and Blake Carroll, who's had a breakout season, man. He's got 970-something yards rushing, 13 TDs. You know, talk a little bit about how Blake's done for you this year.
Well, Blake's had a great year. Of course, you know, we've used him at halfback. We've used him at our pistol quarterback, where what everybody calls wildcat. You know, we try to get him the ball. He's caught a couple of touchdown passes, 2 or 3 at receiver. Last year he played receiver. We slip him out and certainly try to get him the ball out there. But, you know, he's been a big play guy for us. He's one of those kids whose dad played for me. So he's kind of a second generation coming through. And, you know, he's nobody will kick to him. I think he's run some kicks back. So, you know, they're not punting to him, not kicking off to him. And, you know, so we got to get the ball to him some way. So sometimes we just line him up, snap it straight to him.
There you go. Well, you know, Ethan McCann, he's another kid that, you know, having a great year for you. I think he's got 427 yards, 10 TDs. When your running game, you know, is producing like it has this year, that means your line is doing a great job. Talk a minute about Runyon, Sparkman, and some of those other kids on that Panther front line.
Well, of course, we got McCann. You know, he's back there in the back. He's alternated at fullback with Clyde Sparkman, who's having a good year too. He's a senior. McCann's got a lot of tackles over on defense, but we've got I've got Riley Runyons up front. I've got Eli Hankins, who's my right tackle. The big guy that we're missing right now is Trez Sparkman. I mean, he's a 6'5", about 345 guy that got hurt against, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but he broke his elbow out for the rest of the year. Thank goodness he's a junior. But, you know, he got hurt against Eagles, who it was. But, you know, we're certainly missing him. But Cade Cottom has stepped up and, you know, filled that spot. Of course, we got just a bunch of end carriers up front. He's playing both ways. Tyler Ray is a guy that's come in and really solidified our center spot. And of course, tight end is Jaden Stewart, who's a two-way player, junior. A lot of these guys are juniors and will be back again next year, and sophomores that are really doing an outstanding job for us.
Well, Coach, you know, one of the improvements you've seen this year over last, I think, is Coach Lawson's defense is only giving up 9 points a game, which is 8 points better than last season. You know, talk a little bit about the job Coach Lawson's doing and some of the kids on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, hey, really and truly, we're giving up less than that because we let somebody run a touchdown back on kickoff. We fumbled, had a fumble on offense, picked up and scored. So, you know, he's really even doing better than that. But I'm telling you, he has done a fantastic job. We talk about him all the time. His defense is exciting. And, I mean, it's his ball of wax. I mean, he's taking them and I mean, he's really carried them to the next level. I mean, he's doing some exciting things over on the defense side. And that's been our mainstay this year. As our defense goes, so's our football team gone.
Well, Coach, I guess, looking at the bracket, we're heading into playoffs here. I guess the two-time defending champion Peabody, most people probably consider them to be the favorite, heading into this. Any sleepers that you could think of? I mean, it's you got Riverside is a very good team. Of course, you guys, Waverly. Any sleepers we should look out for that you are aware of, maybe on your side of the bracket?
Well, I'm gonna tell you that the team that everybody better watch is Eagleville. I mean, they do a fantastic job coaching.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a bunch of good kids. They're getting healthy, and hopefully they're gonna be in a different side of the bracket than us. I hope. But they're the guy. I mean, they scare me. Of course, with Forrest and us. One of us going to be one, one of us going to be two. But we're not going to face off early. But, certainly, Riverside's the team to beat over there. But don't be surprised if Eagleville doesn't shock somebody coming out right here.
Okay.
Yeah, and, of course, Loudon's playing better. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, Coach, hey, brother, we really appreciate it. Anytime I can get a guy like you on, and Lee and I, we kind of put the interview we had with you last year over at Forest. That was one of the highlights of the season for us. We really enjoyed that, and appreciate getting a chance to talk to a guy that's been doing this as long as you have and had as much success as you have. We really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate y'all getting me on. I don't talk much, but I enjoy the opportunity to do it and talk about our kids because we got a bunch of great kids, and we got a real unique situation here in Lewis County, and we're just proud of our football team.
Well, Coach, again, man, appreciate you, and hopefully we can get you on with us again as we advance through the postseason.
Good deal. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, man.
Bye-bye.
Hall of Famer, Lee.
Hall of Famer, and you never know it.
Yep. He's as humble as they come.
As they come, buddy.
Yep.
That's why I love him.
Yep, me too. He's a good dude, man. And I don't know anybody in the coaching fraternity that doesn't feel the exact same way about him.
That's right.
Been doing it a long time. He does it the right way, and that's why he's so popular and so loved.
That's right.
Mr. Lee Teat, guess what?
2 minutes back.
We're further behind. That's all right, though. Good thing about it is Coach Blade's the last coach, so we can take as long as we want when we get him on with us. I don't remember which one of these scrimmage videos I did last week. Do you remember? So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Is this fourth one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do Nolansville offense. Mike Molder and Lee Teat, Friday main event. We'll be back after this.
Third down and 7 for Nolansville. The Larson pass falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down to Nolansville.
All right, Lee, we are back. Mike Molder and Lee Teat and Roy Dillard in the background here. Appreciate Roy joining us tonight.
RD.
Appreciate his input as usual. It's about as useful as it is on Coach T, ain't it? Yeah, we've had some good coaches tonight, Lee. We've had Jeff Harig, Loudon. We've had Fairview head coach Chris Hughes on. We just got off the phone with Bobby Sharp down at Lewis County. Got another great coach on with us, our buddy, Independence head coach Scott Blade joins us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing fine, and thanks for having me tonight.
Always our pleasure, Coach. It's kind of been a little bit of an uptick, with these positive cases, as I'm sure you've been over Williams County, you're aware. I think legislators are starting to, hit the panic button. They're starting to activate the mandatory masks and whatnot. I think Williams County was among the counties that have put that in. Any fear from the coaching fraternity that, we may not even get this postseason in? What's your thoughts on what's going on now?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to anybody about if we're going to get the postseason in. I saw today that there was like 20 games throughout the state canceled.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah,
40. That's 40 teams, east, west, and middle. So, I think everybody's doing the best they can to survive it and move on and try and get this season in. But you've seen, I think it was DeKalb County, and you saw Stewart's Creek and Lincoln County. You saw, schools that have had to bow out early, and that's unfortunate because I know DeKalb County was region champs, and just read that. But I mean, it's unfortunate because the kids work so hard, and it is what it is right now. It's not fun for anybody as far as dealing with this situation, but it is what it is.
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Coach, after the come from behind win by Summit in week 1, you guys have run the table. And unfortunately, as a result of the virus, you've only had the chance to play 7 games so far. How have you dealt with those unexpected long gaps with your players in the middle of your schedule?
Well, we fortunately it was just the 2 weeks. So, about a month ago, I guess we got hit, and it was right after. Really, it was a Monday practice preparing for Brentwood, and then all of a sudden the emails and the phone calls came in. Literally, we finished up practice about 5:30 until about 7:30 the next morning. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we don't even have a team. And the next day, they shut us down, shut the school down, and went to remote learning. And it was a challenge. And then, so we were set to play Innsworth in the following week. And we're a team with 90 plus players. And, we had, 35 players at the practice. And so we got a little bit of work in, but there's no way we could play the game. There's no possible way. And had to move that one back. So, we used it. We used it as you try and find the positive in anything, in any of this. The positive was, we're able to get kids healthy. We're able to kind of regroup, and we were able to come back hungry, and with a healthy respect for. All along, we've been aware this could be taken away from us at any time, and still can be.
Right.
But a healthy respect for the situation and getting the privilege to get out there and play and do our best and focus. And so we've tried to take a bat and make it as positive as possible. The kids have done a great job. The coaches, our administration's been second to none in helping us through this and helping us, being there for us to try and help us through this. But it's been challenging on everybody, the kids, the parents, the community, but we're glad we are where we're at. And as of right now, as we speak, we're playing a game tomorrow. So
that's right.
That's all we can think about.
Well, Coach, you guys are coming off your biggest win of the season, having beaten Brentwood squad. I don't think they'd actually lost a region game since September the 18th or September of 2018, actually against you guys, matter of fact. How do you feel your team performed in that game, and how close do you feel you guys and because you may potentially see these guys again, how close do you think these two teams are from a talent standpoint?
Well, they're always a great matchup. Coach Crawford is terrific coach.
Yeah.
You know, and a great, just a great person to work with and compete against. The games that we have are nothing but class, and they're really hard fought, and they're well coached. It's a great chess match to be in. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
So, you know, as far as last week, I thought the first half, I think both of us looked a little bit slow. Now it was at 4 o'clock, so it was sun was out, or you know, it wasn't under the lights just yet, and the games always appear, you know, faster,
Right.
and everything under the lights and the dark sky.
True.
But the second half was a really competitive. But we got kind of a roll, made a few plays, you know, and all of a sudden we got, you know, jumped ahead. But the fourth quarter again got real tight. I mean, I think the berth going into the 6A west side of the bracket, I do believe it runs through Williamson County, between Ravenwood, Brentwood, and this year we're in the mix. These are some really quality programs that, you know, it doesn't, you beat them once, it doesn't really matter. You're playing one or both of them again in the playoffs, typically. And
Right.
so I think that's what we're looking at this year as well.
Well, you know, speaking of these Williamson County teams, it don't get any easier this week for you with another region rival in Ravenwood. We're probably trying to plan to attend the game. You know, what are some keys we should be looking for if this game goes your way, Coach?
You know, I think it's going to be a real physical game. I believe we've got to mitigate or slow down Jake Brenningstool. I think he's, you know, maybe the best player we've seen all year. He is an explosive, big tight end / H-back / receiver. He's just as effective on defense. They got him going both ways a lot right now. And I do believe from all that we've seen, and I think he's the best, one of the top, if not the top player in the state as far as talent goes and his ability. He can really do it all. So you got to mitigate and slow down what he can, you know, his damage he causes.
Right.
The quarterback makes good decisions. They got, of course, you know, they got one of the best, if not the best linebackers in the state. And so knowing where he is all the time, you know, when you call an offense, I mean, there really is not a hole in their game. They play really well. They play with confidence. They've been battle tested. And it's for them to get a share of this region title. So obviously everything is, you know, on the line. It's going to be a heck of a matchup. Win, lose, or draw won't be the end of the season. We still know that the sun will come up and there'll be a game in a week that will start the playoffs, and all is well. So there's, you know, the kind of the haze in the barn. Now it's just play the game, and let's see who can come out of this one.
I'll go ahead and read you my next question, which you just blew out of the water, but I'll go ahead and read it just for the heck of it. We talked to Matt Daniels last week, and I know they began using their talented tight end, Jake Briggenstool, on the defensive side of the ball. Do you expect to see that tomorrow night? Well, you just answered that, so we'll skip that question. You're killing me, man. You're killing me getting ahead of my questions. I'm just messing with you.
I think for sure.
Yeah, I do too. Matter of fact, we obviously had that in the questions. But your quarterback, let's get on this one now. Jackson Campbell, man, that kid, Coach, he's having a great year for you guys. Throwing, I think, over 200 yards and rushing for another 103 yards a game. Really do have a chance to win every week with him behind center. I was kind of curious, man. I think he came into the season, if I remember right, as like a all-state wide receiver. Who made the decision to move him in behind center? And man, that's really paying off for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, we knew that, you know, he was a quarterback as a freshman, been in our program for 4 years. He did a great job. We even brought him up and dressed him out as a freshman. And then Ethan Cash moved in. And so his sophomore year, he actually started at corner for us as a sophomore. Last year, he was an all-state DB, but he also had 950 yards returning. The thing about Jackson is he's a winner. He is our bona fide leader and maybe the best leader we've had in many years, meaning he's always positive. He's coachable. Yeah. He'll do whatever it takes. And he's got a great football IQ. And that's a lost thing these days.
Oh,
Where,
yeah.
you have to almost draw some things out in crayon sometimes. But he gets it. He gets it, and he understands the concepts we're trying to attack and work on. But the biggest thing is when you look for a quarterback, number one, do they have the ears of the locker room? Are they he's a never miss guy. He's a tough kid, mentally and physically. He can deal with me as his position coach, helping him through things and sometimes redirecting him. And he gets it. He understands it. He understands it's not personal. We're trying to get better together. I think I really don't have enough positive things to say about him because there's nothing negative I can say about him. He's been such a joy to have in our program and such a wonderful human being. He deserves all the accolades he's earned this year and will continue to earn. But, man, he's a special kid.
Coach, some of the guys, we were talking a little bit about your offense here, but some of the kids that stuck out on the defensive stats to us was Joshua Moore, Ethan Pickering,
Yep.
Andrew Holloway, and then obviously River Katina.
Yep.
Talk about those kids, and any others that have made a difference on the defensive side of the ball for you guys this year.
Yeah, really, we have those. You just mentioned, four are the Andrew Holloway, Josh, and Ethan Pickering is our linebacker core, and they're all seniors. They've been in the program for years. They are leaders too. They are great, workers, tough kids, the perfect kids. High school players that we like, tough, disciplined, accountable, and someone you can depend on. River and Chase Harmon Chase is a senior 4-year guy in the program, doing a great job at corner.
Mm-hmm.
River had a big game last week. We have a couple sophomores that are at the safeties, but Brooks Sapone and Dawson Moore, they're both going to be great players down the road. Defensive line, you'll see probably a dozen defensive linemen work their way in there. A lot of our offensive line, and we have 2 big tight ends. They'll be playing some defensive line as well tomorrow. And really, it's been Tommy Monahan. It's been Cade Hollingsworth at the tackle spot. And then really 3 defensive ends that have really gotten a lot of work. Colin Duffy, Jackson Rosenbaum, and Brady Jenkins. Those 3 have done the lion's share of the work. But again, tomorrow you'll see probably no less than a dozen different defensive line. And that includes every one of our offensive linemen will be taking reps over there.
Well, Coach, the plan is tomorrow night we're going to try to get over and catch that game, man. Really looking forward to it. Again, man, you got an incredibly great team again this year, as we grown to expect from Scott Blade. You guys always have a good program, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, brother.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, it should be a fun night. The weather should be good. These are 2 great teams, great matchup at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a fun night.
Well, good luck to you, my friend. If everything works out, we'll see you over tomorrow night.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Coach. See you, buddy. Scott Blade. Good coach, Lee. Won a couple of state titles, 2 different programs.
Mm-hmm.
Does a phenomenal job over there. He reminds me of Nick Saban. Is that weird?
No, but I tell you what, Coach Blade is just my opinion. I've been, watching football forever. I love how he calls a game.
Mm.
I love the way he calls a game. He's 2, 3, 4 plays ahead of you.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
And typically
he's a cerebral coach.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Typically it's a player letdown or a drop ball or he's about 90% of the time. I think he's got the right play called.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on top of it. I love to watch him call plays.
Yeah. He's definitely one of the best in the business, no doubt. Lee, you ready to get back to picking games, brother?
Let's roll with it. Hey, Jacket Lover and them are getting on us about that Springfield Creekwood.
Oh.
We didn't put on the list, I don't think, on Twitter.
Oh, man. How did I miss that one?
And that's for the region title.
Are you serious?
9-0 versus 8-1.
Well, let's talk about it right now.
We can do it, buddy.
Let's talk about it, man. Creekwood, 9-0, 5-0, beat Portland 28-14
at Springfield.
Yeah, and that was last week. And then you look at Springfield on the other side of that. I think, Lee, their only loss was the Marshall County game you and I attended.
That's right.
beat Greenbrier 17-0. Javante Hudson, man, having a heck of a year. He's Mr. Football candidate for Springfield. Yellow Jackets at home, Creekwood. What's Lee Teat think about it?
Well, it's at Springfield.
That's pretty big.
Yes, that's huge.
I like Dustin Wilson, too. He's one of my favorite coaches.
I do. You know, we had Creekwood's coach on last year with us, remember? And he's talked about how he wanted to turn that place around, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sitting, at 9-0 right now. He's done a good job with them. I think tomorrow night I think it's going to be a very good game. I do. I'm going to go Springfield, obviously, at home. I like Dustin Wilson. His teams always seem to get better as the season goes, and they're sitting right here at week 11. I'm going to go with Springfield at home by 10.
Houston
Thiel.
Head coach of Creekwood. Yeah, we had him on the show last year. I don't know why we didn't call him this year.
Man, he
9-0.
played Hardin County last year, 28-14.
How in the heck did, in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
How in the heck we not got him on this year? Doing a great job.
Yes,
he had he had a heavy senior graduation, but Elijah Donaldson, quarterback, is a senior. They got Jake Dawson.
Yep.
Cy Lunsford, Hayden King. Got some good players there. Who'd you say you was going with?
I'm going Springfield at home, but I think by 10.
Springfield at home by 10. Well, Lee, if you look at the region schedule, looking at these two teams, Greenbrier, Creekwood beat them by 13. Springfield beat them by 17.
That's
Montgomery
right.
Central, they both beat them by the same point total.
Mm-hmm.
Portland, Springfield beat them by a little bit larger margin. White House beat them by a little bit larger margin, and they beat Heritage by a larger margin. Springfield's at home.
That's correct.
Springfield wins.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cut and dry, ain't it?
Yeah.
I can do the math on that. I ain't dumb as I look.
Yes, sir. I'm going Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets with the win.
Yes, sir.
Dyersburg, Crockett. There you go, Jacket Lover. We got you,
Sports
brother.
Banner 38, Jacket Lover. We'll try to take care of you, buddy.
Asking ye shall receive. Dyersburg, I don't know how I didn't have that game on there. I don't know. I missed that somehow. Dyersburg at Crockett County, Lee Teat. This is a Region 7 battle.
Mm-hmm.
And if we look, I didn't even look at that on, well, we can look at that. It's going to be the same deal there, same quad. Let's see, Creekwood Springfield winner will play Jackson Northside Southside loser, and then the loser of Springfield Creekwood will play the winner
that game
of Northside and Southside. So that's how that's going to play out. And then the game we just mentioned, who was it? Was it Dyersburg we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy region right there. If Crockett beats Dyersburg, they are the 2nd seed. Ripley the 3rd seed, Dyersburg the 4th seed. Now, if Dyersburg beats Crockett, then Ripley is the 2nd seed. Dyersburg is the 3 seed. Crockett is the 4 seed. This is one of the craziest squads so far because there's so many implications based on this game right here.
If Crockett wins, then they go to the 2 seed, and if they lose, they drop to 4.
Exactly. That's kind of the way it plays out.
I like.
Haywood's already locked up the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Of course, this is there's only 2 teams in Region 8 playing.
That's correct.
So you got 2 forfeits that are going to be in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think Millington and Fayette Ware are the only 2 teams in Region 8 that will be playing in the playoffs. And you can go to FridayMainEvent.com to see these. I've got a tab, playoff projections, on Friday. If you want to see all this stuff, I got it laid out, and I feel pretty confident it's right. So if you're kind of wondering how your team is going to, who they're going to face in the postseason, we've got all the scenarios laid out on FridayMainEvent.com. And it's simple. I'm a dummy, and you're just a little above a dummy. I'm the dummy. So if we can understand it, you guys can understand it. Coach T put one on there, and I was like, yeah. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
I tried to follow it. It was like, I couldn't even.
Yeah.
But mine's simple. So ours is simple. So check it out. All right, Lee, what were we talking about?
We use that KISS method.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Who you like in this one, Dyersburg or Crockett County?
Man, Twitter went Crockett County at home. They've lost 2 COVID games in a row.
Yeah, so they hadn't played in a while.
No, Man, I do not know, Mike.
I'm going Bart Stowe. I'm going Trojans. I think Dyersburg wins this one on the road.
Really?
Yep.
Mm.
That's what. Well, Clint Hammonds picked Dyersburg. I might change my mind now.
I think I'm gonna go Dyersburg with you, even though it is on the road.
On the road. I'm just kidding, Clint. Love you, buddy. Wayne County and Collinwood. Lee Teat, a little more close to home. Scotty Hanna's squad, 5-3, 4-1 overall. Wayne County 5-4, 4-1. This is a region. I think it's a region second spot on the line. Let me double check that, Lee. Pull that up. We got Wayne County. Collinwood loser is the 3 seed, and the winner is the 2 seed. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Huntington's already locked up to the region title in this one. Who you like, brother? Hunter Staggs and Julian Burchett lead Wayne County around 640 yards, 6 TDs between the two of them.
Yeah.
Wayne County's kind of always known for a good run game. I assume they're still. What was they running under Coach Rice? I don't even remember now. What was they? It wasn't running a wing tee. What was they running? Split back veer.
Yeah.
Yeah, run the
He's
veer.
a veer guy.
He's a veer guy. I assume Cruz. He was offensive coordinator for 26 years, so I assume they're still running the veer over there.
I'm gonna go Collinwood.
Going Collinwood.
Yep.
Collinwood beat Middleton. Beat Perry County, Bolivar Central, Brewston, lost to Richland, Huntington, McNair Central. Wayne County beat South Fulton, Brewston, McEwen, which is a good win. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Wayne County. More impressed with the McEwen win. McEwen was pretty good last year. I don't know how they are this year.
Yeah.
What's everybody got? Seawood.
Yep.
Well, we'll see, boys. Columbia and Shelbyville, Lee Teat.
I like Shelbyville big, but you know how many kids they got? 3 out.
Well, I
three
know
suspended?
Cade's back, and Coach Puckett said he didn't think any of the suspensions was going to affect him any. I texted him this week.
Okay. I like Shelbyville.
I mean, they got some kids out, but I think they got they weren't kids that were going to affect them in a negative way
Right.
too bad. Because you remember, they had like 20 kids that didn't even travel last week.
Yeah. They
For
were
that
half
one-
staff.
Yeah, for that Lincoln County game, or Franklin County game.
Yeah.
So their suspensions most likely weren't starters anyway, apparently, according to Coach Puckett.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to affect anything. 72% of our fan base likes Shelbyville.
Shelbyville.
I think so, Lee. And if we look at that Class 5A, I got a scenario for that too. If Franklin County beats Page, they are the 3 seed. And we're going to talk about them here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And Page would drop to 4 seed, as is if Page wins, and I would expect Page to win, especially with Franklin County having all the suspensions. Page would be the 3rd seed, and Columbia would be the 4th seed.
Yep.
So that's the way
Must win for Franklin County.
Must win. Franklin County loses, they're out.
They're out.
So we both got Shelbyville, right? McMinn County, Bradley Central Lee, McMinn County. I've been really impressed with Jalen Hunt, man.
It's got a potential to be a good game.
It is a strong potential. I think it will be a good game. Jalen Hunt having a phenomenal year.
Yeah, man.
229 yards rushing against Maryville. And Maryville's defense is stout this year. They held Alcoa.
He's legit, dude.
Held Alcoa to 9 points. 1,868 yards, 19 TDs rushing on the season. He's a legit Mr. Football candidate.
He's legit.
67% of our fan base like the Cherokees. Lawman likes McMinn. Damon Floyd squad solid as well.
Yeah.
He's 7-2, 3-1. They've got beaten Walker Valley, Bearden, Cleveland, and Saudi Daisy. Lost to Maryville, lost to Farragut.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of pretty darn good teams.
Yeah. I tell you what, Mike, I'm gonna go McMinn. I like Jalen Hunt. McMinn County on the road.
I like them too. They played Maryville a lot closer than Bradley did.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go McMinn also. I think they're legit this year, Lee. They've got a chance to go maybe to the quarterfinals this year, I believe. I don't know.
Pitch like so.
They'll
Bradley.
probably they'll have to get through Science Hill or DB one. If they get the second seed, as we're obviously predicting that.
Right.
If they get that second seed, well, let's look at that right quick.
Hey,
Lee.
by the way, y'all listening, somebody's listening, post that score of that Alcoa DB.
Oh, I can give it to you right
game.
now, Lee.
Somebody's watching it.
I ain't watching it, but I can give it to you, my friend. I got this low-speed internet from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Alcoa 20-7 over DB currently. Brainerd is losing to McMinn Central. That's a bit of a shocker there. And let's see. Let's get that Peabody score as well.
42-0.
42-0. That's about the way I expected that to go.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Your score updates, courtesy of Lee Teat. Lee, looking at McMinn County and Bradley, the way it's going to play out, the winner will be the 2 seed. They'll play the Science Hill Bearden winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the loser in this game will play Farragut. They'll travel to Farragut.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's going to play out. So you and I both like McMinn, correct?
I like McMinn.
Pearl Cone, 7-4, we're right on time. Pearl Cone in Giles County, Lee, this is actually this is for the region title. Giles County at 4-6.
3-0 though in the
4-5. I think it's 4-5. Anyway, yeah, 3-0. But it's COVID wins. I mean, if you look at Giles County, they beat Millington, they beat Columbia and Whites Creek on the field, and then they got some COVID wins. They lost to Marshall County twice. They lost to Page, lost to Green Hills. Excuse me. I don't think this is. I think this is a blowout. To be honest with you. Pearl Cone, man, that Martina Owens is having a heck of a year. 911 yards, 16 TDs, 1 pick in 5 games. They've had 3 straight shutout victories. Tony Burnetti's team's playing lights out. Easily the favorite in 3A to go to state, in my opinion.
Out of the West, yeah.
Out of the West. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, we had Fairview on. His Coach Hughes has looked good. Coach Kirby over at Covington is playing a freshman quarterback now. I don't know if you knew that or not. He's had a couple of quarterbacks that got hurt. He thinks he may get his starter back by the quarterfinals. But if he's going into the postseason with a freshman quarterback, that's going to hurt them. And then Milan's playing lights out. Dodged a bullet this week. Sure you saw that, didn't you? They had a quarterback in jeopardy, or they had their season in jeopardy. But TSSAA found no wrongdoings and ruled everything good. So they're back in the hunt. But I think Pearl Cone's got to be the favorite. Don't you agree?
Yeah, right now I think Pearl's the most
Pearl
talented.
Cone beats Milan. That's what our boys say.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It's going to be a good game, but, I mean, from a pure talent standpoint, Pearl Cone is eat up with D1 talent.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. McKenzie at Adamsville, Lee Teat. This is another region position here on the line. If you pull up that 2A
McKenzie
bracket, what we've got for quad 4, that's quad 4, right? Yeah. We've got Peabody is already locked the region title up.
Mm-hmm.
We've got if Adamsville defeats McKenzie, we have a 3-way tie with McKenzie, Adamsville, Union City, all having 6 total wins.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't sit there and do all the math and figure all that out. So I guess I went on and assumed McKenzie wins this game. I've got Peabody 1, McKenzie 2, so you know who I'm picking.
Yes,
Union City 3 and Adamsville 4.
Yeah, I'm going McKenzie.
You going McKenzie? I'm going to do it just because that makes the math easy for me. I don't know if I can figure it out if it went the other way.
Yeah.
So come on, Coach Comer. Heat's on, brother. Waverly Central and Riverside. This should be a good game right here, Lee.
It's going to be a barn burner, I think. I really do.
You've got Riverside is beating Houston County, Wayne County, East Hickman, Scotts Hill, and Adamsville. Of course, it'll beat Adamsville 22-13. Good Adamsville squad,
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Gray squad. They won 7 in a row, Lee. They've lost their first 2 games. They've won 7 in a row.
To Lewis County and Lexington.
By 1 point to Lewis County.
And Lexington.
And Lexington.
That's great. Good.
Lexington's a really good,
That's right.
really good team.
This is going to be an interesting game, Mike. It's at Decatur County, Riverside.
Has Tolly been on here tonight?
I hadn't seen
I
Tolly
ain't
on
seen him
tonight.
either. He's Jackie Lover trying to piss him off.
Yeah, I ain't seen him. Who you like, man?
Dustin West already checked out on us.
No, he ain't there.
Is he there?
Yeah, Waverly by 10.
There he goes. Homer.
Yeah, of course. Who you liking?
This is a tough one, Lee.
This is one game that
a
gave me trouble
real
this
tough
week.
game.
Yep. Because it's at Decatur County.
It's at Decatur County. I'm leaning toward Waverly.
Their losses are to Huntington and
If
to Westview.
if there's a coin flip game on the board, this is my coin flip game right here. And of course, Waverly.
You going Waverly? I'll tell you what. I'll split.
You gonna split it with me?
I'll split.
I don't know, man. I ain't decided yet, Lee. Quit trying to pressure me, man. What the hell? Why you gonna put the pressure on me for? I'm still debating. I've only had a week to think about this. Give me a little slack here. I'm trying to look up and see what happened last year.
I think if this was at Waverly, it'd be a no-brainer to me.
Last year, Waverly won 21-10 in the regular season, and then Riverside shut them out 34-0 in play. I think Waverly had a kid that went down in the playoffs, if I remember right. But wow, I mean, you know, of course, Decatur went all the way to semifinals last year,
right.
so they're seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
6 of the last. Look, Dustin West he's trying to sell me, ain't he?
He's right.
Law man put the pressure
I think
on
if
me.
this is at Waverly, it'd be a no.
All right, where you going? I'll go the other side. That's how sure I am of this game. I'm gonna go opposite you. What
I'm
you got?
gonna go Riverside at home.
I'll go Waverly. All right, settle that.
Yep.
I'm pretty confident too.
Well, like you said, that's a total coin flip. I'm just going
It is.
Homer. I'm going home field. That's it.
I got you. I understand. Fairview at Stewart County, Lee. I'm all over Fairview. I don't think it's much of a game. To be honest with you.
Fairview.
I think Fairview wins this and I think Nardozzi goes off. I think he has a big game for him. Westview at Milan, Lee. Milan got a lot of momentum now, getting the decision. Obviously they're going to get to play postseason now, so I think they're going to be pretty fired up for this one, knowing they got a new life.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game gets ugly.
I'll be honest with you, Mike. I think Milan walks in this game, and
30 plus.
I tell you what, man. The thing about Simpson, the quarterback for Westview, he's very talented.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But he has trouble with pressure. Covington put a lot of pressure in his face.
Yeah.
He threw 50 yards that game.
Yeah.
You know, Milan watching that film.
Very similar team to Covington.
They're going to get after him. I think he's going to have blitz in his face all night long. So I like Milan.
Everybody says Milan, don't they?
Yep.
Tommy Fitch, West, Jacket Lover, Lawn Man's Milan. Well, I'm going with you boys, Milan. I ain't going to rock the boat. Ravenwood at Independence League, another tough game to pick. That's a game I plan on being at tomorrow night.
Best 5-4 team in the state of Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Ravenwood.
Yep. Ravenwood losses, Lee, were to Brentwood, IMG, number 1 team in the country, Pulaski Academy out of Arkansas, and then CPA, who I think will win the state title in D2, 2A.
I don't know, Mike.
I don't know either, man. I don't know. These are some tough games right here at the end of this pick. What of our guys? Our guys like Indy. Y'all just Scott Blade won y'all over. He won me over too. He's a good dude.
These guys like Indy, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't know, Mike.
That win last week it convinced me a lot right there, Lee, because I think Brentwood was back full force.
41 points better than Smyrna?
No, I didn't. No, absolutely I didn't.
Smyrna?
I knew they were a lot better. I wouldn't say 41 points.
Golly,
Ravenwood's tough, brother. I mean, they're eat up with talent. Eat up with talent.
This might come down to who's got the ball last. Can they stop Brenningstool? And can Ravenwood
I'm going to go Ravenwood.
stop Campbell?
I'm going to go Ravenwood.
By what? 3?
Close. Close. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
3 to 6.
I'm gonna go Ravenwood by 3 points.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
I would not be surprised to see Indy win this game.
No, I wouldn't
but
either.
I think Matt Daniels is.
He's got his team playing good at the right time,
Yeah,
don't he?
yep.
And really, they probably should have beat Brentwood if you saw that game.
Yes.
They had a lot of mistakes in that game. It was early in the season. And they are seasoned. There ain't a team in the state of Tennessee is more seasoned than Ravenwood. So if they got through that run of tough teams healthy, I'm going with them.
Well, it's hard for me to pick against Coach Blade.
It's hard for me to pick against him too. I don't want to pick against him, but
I got to go Ravenwood right now.
yeah, I do too. I'm with you. Gonna be close. Forest, Lewis County, Lee. I'm all over Lewis County in this one. Forest lost to Cascade last week. I think Kirby is out. I think I saw that on Coach T, the quarterback. I believe he's out.
Yeah, I think Coach Sharp's rolling right along, and I don't see any reason for him to stop. I think this is not even going to be the same game as it was last year.
Big Dave told us to jump on board. He's Ravenwood. That ain't a good sign if we jump on board with you, brother. We might have just screwed you right there.
Yeah. Lewis County.
Lewis County, I like them too.
Yeah.
I think Forest might be a little banged up now. And Lewis County's playing good. And how can you pick against a Hall of Fame coach, right?
Yeah.
Especially one that likes Friday main event. That's definitely a plus for him, isn't it?
It's going to be a good one.
Marshall County, Nolensville.
It's going to be a real good one.
Harmon, who you got? Or Hammonds, who you got, Hammonds? Hammonds says Nolensville.
No, he didn't.
I like Marshall County in this one, Lee. I think, other than that loss to Tullahoma, man, they're playing good. Look really good against Springfield. And I think Hammond's boy, Bryson, may be the difference in this one. He's a year more mature. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's got 13 TDs to only 3 interceptions. Over 1,100 yards passing. Damari Braden having a good year sophomore. I think he leads them in rushing, 341 yards. And then, of course, you got Key Howard to throw the ball to.
I think that's the difference for me, Mike. I don't know if Nolensville can match up Key Howard. I don't think they can match up out there.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I got to see Nolensville last week. Nolensville's was a good team. They're a good team. I mean, they were up against Tullahoma, and Hammond's Tullahoma is legit. They're good.
Well, I tell you too, the Marshall County kicking game is lights out.
Yeah, Estes is a real deal.
Lights out. So I'm going Marshall County.
I like Ryder Gallardi now.
He's good.
He's good.
He
could be the difference. I mean, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's a 3-year starter for a good ball team. It's going to be a tight game. No team's going to run away with this one. Nolensville actually came back and scored a couple of touchdowns there in the second half. Tullahoma jumped out on them big. But I'm not so sure that John Olive didn't kick it up into neutral there in the second half, So,
what are you thinking? 10 point? 7 to 10?
7 to 10. That sounds about right. It's at Nolensville, Lee, so it may be closer. It may be
great field.
It may be a 6-point game because Nolensville's tough to beat over there at Nolensville.
I'm going Marshall County.
I'm gonna go Marshall County, but I think it's a close game. Oakland and Warren County. We didn't think Oakland was gonna get to play earlier in the year or earlier in the week. And I talked to Brad Cowan earlier this week. Lee, they are going to play, despite the fact that the school is quarantine the right word? Are they quarantine, or they just
they shut it down?
Shut it down all virtual learning, right?
Yeah, they shut it down, but that's the smartest thing that Oakland could have done, because you got Rockville and Stewart's Creek who didn't get ahead of the game on this, and it took the school. Yeah. Oakland's like, it's in Rutherford County. Let's go ahead and get this virtual learning, distance learning. That's a smart move, I think, on Oakland's part.
Oh yeah. I'm sure the football players were already doing that anyway. I would expect with Creasy.
Yeah.
So he's
smart move.
He's usually about 3 steps ahead of everybody else.
I like it.
Oakland, yeah, this game won't be close. Warren County's having a heck of a year.
Dude,
C.J.
Matt
Taylor,
Turner, though, got to be in the running for Coach of the Year.
Absolutely, yeah.
There ain't too many teams going to beat Riverdale and Oakland, but he was at 8-0 going into last week.
Yep.
And nobody in the whole world saw that.
And you got to know where Warren County came from before he
That's
got
correct.
there last year.
He's got to be in the running for that.
Yeah, I agree. He's had a heck of a year.
Yes, sir.
And he's got a really talented quarterback, C.J. Taylor, 1,382 rushing yards, 20 TDs, 485 yards passing, 3 TDs. But he's up against Antonio Patterson, Jordan James, and my guy, Isaiah Horton. Man, that kid's fun to watch.
Phenomenal.
Yep. All right, so you going Oakland? I'm going Oakland.
Yes, sir.
We're about to wrap it up, folks. We got 2 games left. Loudon at Powell, Lee Teat. This is Region 2 versus Region 3. My guy, Jordan Potts, 2,268 yards, 23 TDs passing. One of the best sophomore quarterbacks in the state. I'd put Dameron in there with him. But from the sophomores, he's definitely one to throw in the conversation. Jarvis Stockton having a big year. Him and Jordan Brown, I think they combined for 780 yards on the ground. 9 TDs. And then you got Collins, Faust, and Greenlee. All 3 of those kids have over 500 yards receiving. So this offense is explosive.
Man, I told you what, last week I thought Powell would get Oak Ridge. And Oak Ridge jumped out on them.
I picked
early.
Oak Ridge, if I remember right.
You did. And second half, Powell started making a game of it. I thought they could. I didn't know if Oak Ridge could defend those receivers. They did a good job in the first half.
28-27. It could have went either way.
Right. I like Powell to get back on the winning side of things this weekend.
I do too. I think so. Nick Martin's having a good year for South Dole at quarterback. Terrell Brown has been Martin's favorite target. He got 317 receiving yards, 4 TDs. Sean Gary has been their playmaker, though. Over 1,000 yards, rushing 10 TDs. I agree with you, Lee Teat. I like the Powell Panthers at home, but that should be a good ball game. If you're up in that area, that'd be a good one to go watch. What's our guys say? Everybody's got Powell. Everybody likes Powell. And that, Big Dave's the one and the Lawnman's the 2 I'd watch. They're in that area. They all know them teams better. Hammonds, I don't pay much attention to what he says. Gordonsville and Monterey. I'm just messing with you, brother. You know that. Gordonsville and Monterey, Lee Teat. Hey, that's the guy that told me to cut my darn light off when I was on the sideline over there with my camera. He said, "Hey, dummy, cut your light off." He texted me that in the middle of the game. "Hey, you big dummy, you don't need your light on your camera."
He's trying to help you out, man.
Yeah, he's trying to help me out, I bet. Gordonsville at Monterey. Scott Clemens' team is playing really good league. 62% of our Twitter fan base thinks Gordonsville wins this, and Monterey, both teams undefeated in the region play.
Gordonsville.
I like Gordonsville.
I think they win big.
Big. It may be. You may be right.
That win over Fayetteville solidified it for me.
Daryl Holt. Well, you got to remember though, Fayetteville had 4 kids out.
Yeah, but still.
4 starters out.
That Fayetteville win, and then that. Okay, so they lost to Watertown and Trousdale both by 1 score.
Yeah.
That's 2 real legit.
Oh yeah, I agree with. I'm not arguing with you. I think Gordonsville's a better team too. I'm just saying don't read a lot into that Fayetteville game because they weren't at full force.
I'm gonna go Gordy big.
Gordy big. I'm gonna go Gordy pretty big as well.
Yep.
All right, Lee. That's it, ain't it?
That's it, brother.
We're good to go. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate RD. Appreciate all your wise input there. RD. He'll talk, Lee. I don't remember how to make him talk. The button there. Where's it? There he is. Even the bird talks. There you go. That's about the wealth of information I usually get out of Roy when I talk to him. So
that's
there you
pretty
go.
good. Pretty good.
Oh crap! It's been one of them nights. Appreciate the YouTube participation, guys. A key. I got you. I just called it a key. Huh?
A Kai.
A Kai. Oh, okay. Akai. Excuse me, Hammond. Excuse me, Akai.
Howard.
He's talking about the wide receiver from Marshall County. We was mispronouncing the name. That ain't the only one we'll mispronounce this year.
No,
I guarantee you. I had a mama call me.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I wasn't saying her kid's name right. I ain't that smart. What can I say? Lee, enjoyed the show. Enjoyed the regular season. This will be our last show for regular season. We'll be in postseason next week. We'll do a rundown every quad next week. We may cut back on our coaches' interviews next week because we got so many games to talk about. But as usual, we like to. I think our video's locking up.
Yeah, it's getting slower.
Getting slower. All right, let's go ahead and wrap the show up. I think the video's dragging on us. YouTube or United Telephone Internet may be getting slow. Typical around here.
All right, brother.
All right, CoachT.com.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. Appreciate all of our followers here. We'll wrap it up. We'll put a little bit of scrimmage video on, and we'll see you guys next Thursday, 6 p.m., Friday main event.
Third down and 12 for the Knights. The largest pass to Parker Price is good for a Loudonville first down. Run out of bounds by Owen Stroop. Johnson on the carry for Gatlinburg. DJ Dillahay on the stop for the Wildcats. Second down and 4 for the Knights. Good for another Loudonville first down. Justin Scott on the tackle. The Tullahoma pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10, Wildcat. Jacoby Thomas makes a move and splits to the defender for a touchdown. Tullahoma. Tullahoma has it 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Thomas off left tackle. Covers 42 yards for another Tullahoma score.